I've been working my job for 14 years and I'm still in a place where somebody else has control over my life.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, what can I do? What can I create that can not only help me impact other people, but it can help me and my family so I can be a provider. And I sat back, I prayed, I did a lot of praying, a lot of meditating, and something that was laid on my heart was you've always had these gifts inside of you that you never really used.
Yeah.
So why are you complaining about losing your job or not having enough money when you're not even using the gifts that God has given you in the first place?
So yes, sir, man. Welcome to another episode of Success is Us. This channel is all about success, providing you with knowledge, motivation, inspiration, so that you can become successful. I bring on successful people who got the knowledge. You know, we gonna chop it up, and it's gonna be a great time. Today I got IQ. I'm going ahead and let him introduce himself. He's an entrepreneur, an author, an artist, all that, a father, husband, you know what I mean? So yeah, go ahead, my boy.
Yeah, man. Man, that's a lot of titles, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a lot of titles. Yeah. Yeah, like like you said, like my name is IQ. And to sum it all up, I would just say that I'm a creator and a
yeah,
servant. You know what I mean? I love serving people. I love impacting and helping my community and just anybody around me, honestly. Like that's really my biggest purpose, like to be here on earth. So that's it. But I do wear many hats.
yeah.
Through the grace of God, I'm able to manage so many different things, but it's cool. It's cool. And I love it. I love the life that I'm living right now.
Yeah, how is it managing all that though? Being in the studio, shipping off the books, shipping off the clothes, all that, the children, the wife. How is that, man?
Man, it takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah,
That's like the hardest part. The hardest part for me is being disciplined and being organized. I don't know, like I'm trying to figure out an easy way to say this, but it's hard. Like
yeah,
it's challenging. Like it's
yeah,
super
yeah.
super challenging to do all of the things that I do. But I do a lot of praying, a lot of meditating.
Yeah.
Um, I wake up super early in the morning and
What
and
time you
literally,
usually wake up?
I mean, lately I've been waking up at like 5 in the morning. And a big thing for me too, what helps me is that I usually start my day at the end of the day. So like at the end of the day, I usually like plan for my following day.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
set this
yeah.
alarm on my phone and it says knock down goals for the next day on my phone. So every night at 10 o'clock before I go to sleep, and that's another thing, like I try to go to sleep early. I'm not up 11, 12, 1. Like I try to
Yeah,
go to sleep early so I can wake up early and I can do what I need to do. So I literally set an alarm the night before. I write down all my goals for the next day. I wake up and I start accomplishing whatever goal I have. I break it down into sections. So it's like personal, business, uh, actual 9 to 5 job because I still work a 9 to 5 job.
yeah.
Um, I do like church duties and different things like minister stuff, whatever. So like I break it down into sections and I write down what needs to be done and I do it. I just take it one day at a time.
Yeah, that's what's up. How important do you think like starting off your day is?
Oh man. I think if I think starting off your day is super important because I know for me, like I used to kind of wake up and just not have nothing planned and just like do whatever happened.
Yeah,
And by the
yeah,
end of the day, most 9 times out of 10, I did not get anything done. So I
yeah,
think starting your day is super important because what it does is it gives you like a strategy and it gives you kind of like a destination,
yeah,
right? And when you have a destination and when you know exactly where you're going, it's easier for you to accomplish it, right? So starting your day is like the most important thing. That's why I usually start my day at the night before. Because sometimes when we wake up, if we try to like wake up and knock out and write our goals down and stuff, we might
yeah,
be all over the place.
yeah,
But if you do that joint the night before, you kind of waking up like, oh, I know what I got to do today,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
it, right? Like, so yeah, it's important.
Yeah, yeah. So you got this whole brand called Too Gifted. Well, what's the
Right.
origin of that basically?
Oh man, Too Gifted LLC is a business. It's my business, and basically we help people live a purpose-driven life through the gifts that they have inside.
Yeah,
Real simple. A
yeah,
lot of people, they are, going through stages where they're trying to figure themselves out. You want to know who you are. You want to know like what you're good at, what skills you have. So my company is just a company to help people find that innate gift. Everybody has a gift inside of them, but it's up to us to activate it. And we really focus on making sure that we can help you identify those things. So the three things that we focus on, we help people discover their gift, because you have to know that you have it. You have to be able to identify it.
yeah,
Then you have to develop it. So it's like you can't just have something planted inside of you and you don't know the steps in order for you to, put the water and allow it to
yeah,
grow, right? And after you develop your gift, then you uncover your gift. Meaning now you're at the place now where you can literally walk in your purpose. And every day is like Christmas because you literally just walking in your purpose, walking in
yeah,
your gift. And that's what we do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that brand get started? Like how
Uh,
did you?
Too Gifted, 2000, I think it was, maybe it was September 2020. Like I literally just started this brand, and throughout it was the pandemic was going on, and my wife, she works for the city. I actually am a program manager for after school program, so I've been in youth development for like 14 years now.
Yeah,
And when the pandemic happened, the first thing that we saw in the news was the city and the state was losing funding. They were taking
yeah,
away funding from like all different ways.
yeah,
So my wife is like, "Yo, if the city cuts our funding, we're not gonna be able to live. Like we're not gonna have a job. We're not gonna be able to provide for our family, right? We have 3 children.
yeah,
So as a man of my house and a leader of my house, it broke me down. It hit my soul because, to be honest, if one of us lose our job, we was not able to make it. We can't make it, and that's how I felt. So I sat there and I'm just like, dang, yo, like I've been working my job for 14 years, and I'm still in a place where somebody else has control over my life.
yeah,
And I said to myself, what can I do? What can I create that can not only help me impact other people, but it can help me and my family so I can be a provider. And I sat back, I prayed, I did a lot of praying, a lot of meditating, and something that was laid on my heart was, you've always had these gifts inside of you that you never really used.
yeah,
So why are you complaining about losing your job or not having enough money when you're not even using the gifts that God has given you in the first place? And that was a wake up call for me. That showed me that I'm inactive at this moment. I do music, I sing, I rap, I'm a communicator, I'm a speaker, I do all these
yeah,
different things, but
yeah,
nobody really know for real, right? I never really took it serious to the point where I said, this is something that I want to really, really do super, super hard. And at that point in time, I'm like, I'm gonna do it, right? Like I know everybody starting up businesses and everybody used the pandemic to like, do all these different things. But for me, it hit home. I was like, yo, this business has to work.
yeah,
Like it's no more, because if something like this happens again, trust me, I'm never gonna feel like I can't provide for my family and feel like somebody else is gonna control my life. It will never happen again.
yeah,
And that's what this framework came from, and it's really deep in my heart, right?
yeah,
And I'm like, if I feel like this, I know there's mad people feeling the same exact way as me, but nobody really saying nothing about it, right?
yeah,
Then I
yeah,
started thinking about so how I first started was I did an apparel line. I was like, okay, if I could sell 30 shirts, um, I could do this, right? Like I could let me start up something, learn the t-shirt game, learn just the business side of things so that
yeah,
I could like get comfortable with this, right? And I'm like, all right, started the apparel line, hit up 30 of my friends, family members on the, like, yo, look, I'm starting this lineup. I got this shirt, blah, 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 blah. In like 3 days, everybody sending me the money. Like, oh,
yeah,
word. Like, I told them what Too Gifted was about, what it represents. They're like, oh. And then at that moment, In 3 days, I made about $750. And in my head, I'm like, I've been working my job for 14 years, and it
I'll
take
make
me
that in a
three
week,
weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
Mm.
take me some weeks to get that. And I
Yeah.
got that in 3 days. Plus, people are telling me things like, yo, your shirt is helping me out and it's making me feel better as a person. I'm impacting people and I'm making money. It's
Yeah.
over. And
Yeah.
that's when this empire started. So yeah.
Yeah. So was that your first like time being an entrepreneur, or have you always been an entrepreneur? Really?
Yo, this was my first time ever in my life being an entrepreneur. It was the first time that I did music for years.
Yeah.
I might have sold a little merch, but it was never nothing. Like I still got people saying like, yo, IQ, like whatever happened to my merch you were supposed to start up and start sending them. So like literally, this was the first time. But you know that the thing is, it wasn't hard for me because it was already in me. See,
Yeah.
that's why it was so easy, because it was already in me. I just had to activate that joint, and that's what I'm trying to, tell people. Like a lot of the gifts and skills and talents that you think you don't have is already in you. You just got to activate, and that's why disciplining ourselves is big. You know how scared I was just to text people and say I'm starting up an apparel line
Yeah.
when 5 people on my block right now got a shirt selling outside as we
Yeah.
speak. It was scary, bro. It was fearful. You know what I mean? But I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this joint. Like I'm gonna do it, and I didn't care what happened. Like the goal wasn't to make money. The goal was to overcome the fear of starting something and doing it.
Yeah.
That was the goal for me. And once I did that, it was like, oh, I'm unstoppable now.
Yeah, yeah, I love to hear it. We're gonna talk more about fear later. But right now I wanna get more into like who you are, your childhood, your upbringing. Talk to me about who is IQ. You feel me? How you from Brooklyn
I'm
or
from Brooklyn. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Same story as a lot of other people. Single mom, raising a single mom, raised in the hood. Um, Lived in poverty for a very long time. And same story, man. Same story. Family members didn't really have it like that. Nobody around me really had it like that. So just a lot of always doubting myself and feeling like I'm not good enough and comparing myself to like people of other colors and always doing these different things. I was super insecure growing up. I was super like I can't be something, you know what I mean? Like it was very bad. So I didn't sell drugs. I wasn't like out in the streets hustling or anything like that. But what happened with me was my mind, bro. My mind was killed me. Like the things that I created in my head about myself put me in depression. It put
yeah,
me in all kind of stuff, bro. Like all kind of stuff that I didn't even really deserve to feel. But I did that to myself. So it's like in school, I wasn't like a A+ person. I was a mediocre dude. You know what I mean? Like I got good grades from time to time. Uh, but yeah, just poverty upbringing and just being around a system that like I feel like I was born to be defeated type
yeah,
thing. Like I used to
yeah,
feel like I was created in this world to fail type thing, right? Like so like just feeling that way killed me. And it killed me with my relationships that I had in the past. It killed me with the dreams that I had for myself. Like I killed a lot of my dreams, a lot of my ideas because of my insecurities. I was really like messed up in the head, man.
So what moment in your life made that switch? Was it the pandemic or was it before that?
Nah, it was when I had my son. I had my son at 21. Um, and that was it for me. Like when I had him, it was like, okay, you're still not a man yet. You still don't know who you are, but now you have another person,
Yeah,
right? That is looking up to you to be the man, to be a man as well one day. So it's like now or never. Like you have a son. You can't be, the system already set me up to say, yo, I could be a deadbeat father and I could literally just leave and never come back and I'll be fine, right?
yeah,
Like all of that stuff was in my head. But when my son came, I was like, I have to do something. That's why I got into youth development and working with kids and different things like that, because I was like, yo, I got to get a job. Like I got to get something that stabilize me and secure me, so when my son gets older, he'll be good, right? Like that was my mentality, and of course, I had a whole bunch of different like growing pains and stuff. But when I had my son, it was over. It was like, okay, you gotta step it up. Let's do it. Let's do whatever you gotta do. You know what I mean? And that was the breaking point for me. That slowly changed my mentality into I have to become a provider or I have to be somebody, right? I still didn't know what my gift was. I didn't really know who I was, but I knew I
Yeah.
had to be something, right? And that's where it started at.
Yeah, yeah. So, when you started your clothing line, you said something. You said, you know, you reached out to people you know, blah blah blah, and
Hmm.
instantly you basically sold out. You feel me?
Yeah, basically sold out.
So, talk to me about like, because when you first start something, there's an initial rush. You feel me? Initial rush. You feel me? Everybody's excited. Da, 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 da. So what happened after everybody was excited? After you've already hit up everybody that you know, and now you gotta go talk to strangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, that's that fear piece.
Yeah,
That's that fear piece. That's that piece where it's like, oh shoot, like I've exceeded all of my resources at this point in time. And at that point, when that happened for me, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of shut down for a week. I
yeah,
kind of like, I kind of shut down. I kind of was like to my wife, like, "Yo, I don't know if I could do this because like I don't have nobody else. Like
yeah,
I didn't spoke to everybody, but I have a few people, a few of my friends around me, and produced by Pack. Pack is as one of the dopest brand strategists in the world for me. And me and him, that's one of my close friends. So like, he kind of helped me strategize a way to kind of like look at the bigger picture
yeah,
and see like other outlets that I can use. That helped me a lot. And then also another thing that helped me was I said to myself, like, I'm a millennial. I was born in the 90s. I remember a time where people were selling CDs out the trunk, bro.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember a time when people were like hustling and like really grinding to get there before like social media was big. So in my head, I said, okay, how about I dedicate every day to going out and reaching out to 5 people that I don't know? Like, that was something that I said I had to do. So like once I exceeded that, I started literally going to malls. I started walking down the block of my house. I started walking in my community, and the goal was to just get 5 people to know what I do, to know my messaging, and to purchase one of my shirts. And I did that for going on, which I'm still doing at this moment. So I'm gonna say about 2 months straight. And from that, what that was doing subconsciously was it was taking out the fear part. It was taking out the part of me feeling like I don't have any more people to reach out to, because now it went from I don't have anybody to there's a billion people in this world. Now I got to figure out how to get them,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
I'm a hustler by heart, so I'm okay with like grinding. I actually work better when I'm under pressure, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but like I work better like that. So I'm like, all right, every day. Yo, what's up? How you doing? My name is IQ. I have a business called Too Gifted. Listen, I want to help you tap into your gift. What's your gift? I don't know. It's this, it's that, it's that. I don't know.
yeah,
Let
yeah,
me let me help you with that, right? Let me give you some apparel that's gonna not only make you look good, but it's gonna make you feel good. These
yeah,
are the conversations I'm having with people now, and of course, listen, out of the five, my goal was to get 5 people, which meant that I had to reach out to at least 40. So
yeah,
I'm talking to people, all kind of people, and so I'm getting no's. I'm getting people telling me get away from me. I'm getting all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But throughout that process, it showed me a whole nother way. It showed me that like that's what organic is for me, right? Like that's why I can tell that my brand is growing really, really big, because of that organic reach that I'm going out there and doing. And that's part, people don't do that. People don't decide to just go out and don't know nobody and just gonna go and just try to. A lot of people don't do that.
yeah,
So for me to do it, it kind of helped me a lot, bro. So now I'm in a place where it's like I don't care if everybody I know got my stuff. Like, all right, I know homeboy down the block. He looked like he could do something. Let me go talk to him. And another
yeah,
thing I did was in my car, all my products is always in my car. I never go anywhere without having 2 gifted apparel in my car because I know that there's always somebody that I can probably impact in some kind of way. And I want to make sure at the end of the conversation, I'm able to give them something tangible that they can remember me by.
Yeah.
So
Stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
ooh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. So, what are some tips that you would give to somebody who's trying to start a clothing line?
Start.
Yeah.
um, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of the things that happens to us is in our head.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the reason why, like, for example, growing up, I didn't like going on roller coasters because I used to think, and my son is like that now, unfortunately, but like, I, I didn't like going on roller coasters because it was the thought. I used to think about what could possibly happen when I get on there. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't get on,
Yeah.
right? And that's the same thing with people who are starting anything. The thought of starting is the hardest part. So if you actually start whatever it is, then you'll be able to see exactly where you felt fall short at and all of those different things. Like all that stuff will happen once you start. So I encourage people to start. You don't even have to have a solid plan. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to, like, I know, you know, a lot of people out here is like, you know, you gotta set goals, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Yeah, that is a part of it. But when you get your feet wet and you just trying to get this going, just
Yeah.
go ahead and start. Like I didn't know nothing about having a t-shirt line. I didn't know nothing about it. All I did was like, all right, I know that there's a print shop down the block from my crib. Okay, let me walk in there and see, yo, how much is this? How much is it for me to print a shirt? Is this amount of money? Okay, boom. If I printed it without and I bought my own blanks, then how much would it be? All right, it'll be the ABC. Oh, all right. Now let me go on Google University and look at and see. Okay, like what kind of blank wholesale shirts can I buy? Oh, $6, $4, $3 for this. Oh, let me order it. I learned as I went, bro. I just started. And
Yeah.
I encourage people to start. Whatever that thing is that you want to do, start it. And don't expect people around you to support you.
Yeah.
I'm like, especially the people that's close to you. Don't expect them to be on board and ready to conquer the world with you. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna happen. The people that's around you, that's really close to you, will be the ones that's gonna be like, "Yo, bro, don't do that, bro." Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna happen, right? So start and don't expect people to support you that's close to you. Just know that you're in your own lane, you're in your own zone, and you're gonna go. You're not gonna focus on that. And my thing is, I always say that I would rather hang around people who would celebrate me than people who would tolerate me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's super important to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who will rock with you, right? Because I know for me, that was another thing too. Like when I was reaching out to family and friends, I reached out to like 100. I
Yeah.
only got 30 responses, or
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that hurt me too. I was like, "Dang, I thought like you was my cousin. Like, what's
Yeah.
up, my
Yeah.
first cousin?" You can't expect that, man. So that's what I would tell people when they're starting up a business. And everything starts here. Everything starts in our head. I
Facts.
don't care what nobody say. Our mind can kill us. Our mind can put us in depression, but our mind can also make us successful. What
Yeah.
we think, and it can really become who we are. I truly believe that in my head. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, but you did. That's facts, though. I always tell people, sell to strangers. Don't sell to people you know. You feel me? Like for my Instagram, for the longest, when I started my Instagram, I started it. I don't even remember when I started it the exact day, but when I started it, I was at like 100 followers for months. I finally built up to like 600 followers. You know what I mean? But I realized all I'm doing is targeting people I know in my city and all that. I'm thinking everybody gonna show love, share my stuff, like and all that, follows. You can't hit the follow button. I'm like, bro, what? You feel me?
That's free. That's
Um,
free.
free, bro. And then I'm just like, all right, let me switch it up. So instantly, as soon as I switch it up, and now I'm talking to people from out of state, 1,000 followers, 3,000 followers. Now I'm at 10,000 followers. Just what, 4 months later? Just
You
from
see how
just from
that works?
switching my target audience. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. Like I love that, man. I love that. And it takes a lot of discipline for you to realize that and to be like, yo, you know what? I'm just gonna go and start reaching out to other people. I mean, but when you think about celebrities, you think about people, like most people go out and
Yeah,
then they come back. And when they
yeah,
go
yeah,
out, I mean, people get way more love when they go away than when they come. Like I went to Florida and I went with my apparel and all of that stuff, and I was doing a few speaking engagements. Yo, do you know, like I went with a duffel bag of books, duffel bag of shirts, and I left with nothing in it. Nothing out. Nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, and like I'm like, yo, if I try to do the same thing, like in my church or not my church, but like if I try to do the same thing certain places in Brooklyn where I think I would get that, I probably would. And they treated me like a king.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, that's crazy, you know, but that's how it is. And you know what? The people who don't even get mad or blame them or get upset with them, they're gonna come around. Like they're gonna come around and that's okay. Some people will see you on a certain level for a long time just because they're so close to you. That's okay. You know what I mean? That's cool. Just and now there are people in my family or in my friends is like, yo, Q, let me get this, let me get that. And you know what? I'm not upset. I'm like, let's do it. You know, like let's do it. You know, I'm happy that you found your way. Like I'm good with that. And that's the type of spirit we gotta have when we work in business. We can't be holding grudges and getting mad. And my music, I used to kill people in my music when nobody supporting me. When I make it, it's over. Like, y'all better not. Like, I used to be so upset, and it's like, bro, they don't even know what they doing. Like, just get over it. So yeah.
So when did you start music?
Oh man, I started music when I was 8 years old. I told you, like I used to go through like depression and just stuff in my head. So what I used to do is I used to write my way out of how I was feeling because I didn't necessarily I didn't know how to express it sometimes. So I would literally just write poems. And then after writing poetry, I found like instrumentals. I didn't know what that was at the time. And when I found it, I'm like, yo, if I put this to this, like I want to know how it sounds. And when I started doing it, it was cool. So shout out to my cousin, not for sale. We actually started and was like making little songs on Audacity and then on our little phones and different things like that. And I realized that like it was a love for me. Like I fell in love with music. And again, it was a gift because I could hear an instrumental and write a song in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes. And nobody ever taught me that. Right. So again, I'm like, dang, that's powerful. Like you got something, like, you know what I mean? And then it just started going from there. And IQ, that's how I built my Instagram following, right? Like that's who I am. Like IQ artist, like I done opened up a Fab, I done did like shows,
open up a Fab?
Yeah. Like I done did
just gonna say that and just how did that happen? How did that happen?
Well, one of my Lincoln University, they had like this big showcase. I think it's on my YouTube. They had this big showcase where they were, celebrating like just all of the black people and different things like that. And I had to connect somebody in the media. She was like, yo, IQ, I need you to come out here and I need you to do your thing. I need you to perform, open up a Fab, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, shoot, what? Like, and it was huge, bro. It was huge. It was like one of the biggest things in my life. But you know what? I could be honest. After I opened up for Fab, right, I stopped doing music. And, the reason why I stopped doing music was because I didn't know what to do after that. Yeah. Like I didn't have people around me to say, okay, now use this as leverage and da. Yeah. I kind of was like stuck, like y'all open up a Fab, what to do? Like I don't know what to do. And I stopped. That's why
now, like that's
and I didn't know that. Yeah. I literally didn't know that. So I just stopped doing music. Of course I was going through some other stuff or whatever, but like I just stopped doing music after that big, huge highlight. And I'm just like, but that again, I didn't have nobody to mold me and to show me what to do after that. So it was just a loss for me. You know what I mean? And IQ, my real name is Iquell, IQUELL. And when I created my IQ name, I took the L's out because there was a point in time in my life where I felt like I kept losing all the time. Like I was seeing more losses than wins. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take these L's out my name. Yeah. I'm going to change my drink to IQ, and IQ is going to be a winner. He's going to be a champion. He's going to be the person that's going to be that person that I really want to be. Like some people have like an alter ego, and it's like for me, for a long time, I always wanted to be my alter ego, but I was the other person. And whenever I was IQ, I was that man.
Yeah.
Like it was like a switch. You know what I mean? And it felt super, super good. So like I've been doing music so long. I have over 300 songs.
Yeah.
Like this ain't like no little play. Like I
Yeah.
really do this, right? Like
Yeah.
but when I began to get older, I never saw IQ as a brand. And again, that's another thing. All this stuff, just always doing stuff on your own and not knowing, right? So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when I decided to like, I never stopped doing music. I actually releasing a video on Father's Day. And I send that to you first. I'll send it to you after this. But like basically, with the whole IQ thing, like I didn't know how to brand myself properly. So like I got defeated a lot and started like not doing stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So now I'm incorporating IQ back into the picture, but it's from a different perspective now. Now it's under Too Gifted LLC, my business. So
Yeah.
now it's like now I'm making theme songs for my company, right? Like now I'm allowing my sons, teaching my sons how to do certain things so they could make songs and different things like that, right? Like I dropped a book. Now I got anthems and different things. Now I'm figuring out another way to incorporate IQ, but I'm kind of taking it off of me and making it more about Too Gifted because I feel like the Too Gifted company is bigger than me. So I
Yeah.
want to get to a place where I'm even saying, yo, look, we got Too Gifted Studios. Like I want you to come and spit some tracks for maybe our new apparel line that we got coming out. You know, I want other creatives to come together and do certain things. Now I'm using my musical genius and ability in a whole different way, and it feels way better than me trying to be a star, like, you know, on the Grammys. Like, I don't care about that no more.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking about your book, you're an author, man. Um, Talk to me about that process first of all.
Oh man,
The whole writing
yo,
process.
like
Were you the one who like typed it out and wrote it, or did you tell
all
somebody?
that. Nah, I
Damn.
did all that. I did all that. So okay, so I know it sounds like a lot, but all right. So I got my apparel line right at this point. I'm 6 months in with
Yeah.
my apparel line. By that time, I'm at 10K in my apparel. I'm at 10K in my apparel line. I'm feeling good.
10K
Um,
followers or
no, no,
10K?
no. Take. I'm making. I've at this point. I've made 10K in my apparel
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and this is literally through organic. Like the Instagram press. I'm not using my Instagram at this point.
Yeah.
I'm only using Facebook. Um, and I'm organic. I told you, like I'm out there in the streets, right? So at this point, I'm at 10K with my apparel line, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is dope. What else can I do to kind of impact the world? So like I'm walking around here telling everybody like, yeah, I got this apparel line, Too Gifted, blah 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 blah. And again, with meditation, prayer, bro, I'm telling you, it like saves my life. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there, I'm praying, and I'm like, yo, I'm actually watching David Shan's podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
My boy.
which is David Shan is like he's the GOAT,
Yeah.
like literally morning meetup. I've like literally he done changed my life. But I'm watching a podcast and I saw somebody and they would talk about their books and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, like, dang, I want to write a book. I
Yeah.
want to write a book. And like the first thought that came in my head was, yo, Q, can't write no dang book, man. Like you and look where you was raised at. Like, ain't
Yeah.
nobody around you ever write no book. Like, you
Yeah.
barely made it out of English class, bro. Like, what are you talking about? That was the first. That again, that's that enemy. And when I say enemy, INNER me, inner me,
Yeah.
right? That's that enemy that like literally got me. And when that happened, when I got so scared, I knew it was something I had to do. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm not right, but connected with a few people from on the meetup, of course. Um, Cal King, dope dude. He's like, yo, bro, I can help you, like as far as just like getting it out there, different things like that. I'm like, all right, cool. Took a few courses on just writing or whatever. And I wrote my book, bro. And literally I what was it? January 15th was when I started, and I finished writing my book March 15th.
Yeah.
Like
You was going
it
off.
was it was over. Like
Yeah.
I said to myself, like I'm gonna write maybe about a paragraph a day. I'm gonna do a paragraph a day. And that's it. Like I'm gonna figure out I knew what I wanted it to be about because I got an apparel line, I got the messaging, I know what I wanted it to be about, but now it's like how do I get into detail? So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to dedicate from 12 to 1 every single day. I literally wrote a paragraph.
Yeah.
And once I started getting comfortable with that one paragraph, I'm like, wait, maybe I could do chapter. Maybe I could do 2. Maybe I could do 3.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I was unstoppable, bro. Before you know it, was like, oh yeah, you could do this. Like this is what you do. Like you could do this. You write songs. Like you could write a book, and that was it, man. Again, Google University, looking things up, figuring it out, like figuring out my messaging, figuring out like what I want, breaking down the chapters, which I got help with from Kyle, like figuring out like what the thesis for each chapter and how is it gonna flow with each other, and just all these different things that I thought was super hard to do, but it's mad easy. Like it's mad, writing a book is not hard at all. Again, mindset. It's all about here, bro. Like this right here is a killer, because like if I would have listened to that initial thought in my mind that I can't do it, it wouldn't have been done.
Yeah.
And I fought myself, and that was it. You know what I mean? So now I'm in a place where now I'm teaching people how to write books. Like, and it's and people are being successful from it. Like things is happening. It's like, yo, it's not that hard, bro. It's really not. And I don't even know if I spell all the words properly in my book. Like, I really just don't, like, I don't care. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to just start and do something. Somebody told me the other day, they're like, yo, Q, you had some grammatical errors. I just sold 300 copies. I dropped my book April 1st, which is my birthday, and we in June. To date, right now, I sold 300 copies of my book. You think I'm listening to the person who said I got grammatical errors?
Yeah.
What? Like, it don't, like, what? I don't care about that. You know what I mean? So that's what happened with my book. And like, now my book, right? So you got my apparel line, which is like making you look good, feel good. This right here, I'm teaching, I'm talking, I'm showing you now. Now I'm showing you how to do this thing. It's now you can literally read this every single day and you'll understand exactly what your gift is and how you can develop that thing. I talk about IQ. I talk about the things that I'm doing. I talk about the fact that why does everybody feel like a gift is being a basketball player or a dancer or a singer? Like that's not the only gifts that we have, right? Like you could open up doors well, and that could be your gift. You could love people, like, you know what I mean? That could be your gift. My wife is a problem solver. Like, no matter if I am hungry, like right now, she making pancakes and sausages. I can't wait to eat it. But like, she's a problem solver. She takes care. Like, and whenever there's an issue, her innate thing is to try to figure out a way to solve it. That is not everybody. I was not like that. You know, like sometimes when there's a problem, I panic and I like shut down. She's just like, all right, how we gonna fix this? What we gonna do? And I'm like, yo, that's a gift. You could use that. You could teach people how to solve problems. You could teach people how to develop that ability to want to fix things, right? Like that's a gift. You know what I mean? And I'm teaching people, man. I'm teaching people how to really discover that innate thing. It's there. Like I want people to understand that. It's there. It's not nothing you gotta go look for. Like it's in you, like already. All you gotta do is figure out what that is. You gotta tap into it. You know what I mean? Like a gift is something, and Steve Harvey said it best. Like it's something that you absolutely do the best with the least amount of effort. That's all it is. You know, you just think about what are some things that you really you're just so dope at, and you don't even gotta worry. You don't even gotta stress it. Like how about you? Like, what are you super good at that you don't even like practice?
I'll say making connections. I didn't realize that till I started my podcast.
Look at that. You see what I'm saying? Like, and you walking in it now, you know? So now the fact that you're the connector, Curtis King, he's dope. I don't know if you know him, but like literally that's a gift. You connecting other people is big. You know how many people need resources? You know how many people need, you know, like me, I'm to the point in my life where when it comes to certain things, I don't even want to think about it anymore. I'd rather somebody else think for me. Like that's how because I'm just super busy. So imagine if I met somebody like you and I'm like, yo, I need help with this. And you're like, oh, I got that. Here you go. Now I don't gotta worry about it no more. Right? Like that's a gift, bro. And everybody don't have that. So that's dope. You know, my gift is being a creator. Like I'm talking about creator in any type of capacity, right? I'm really good at talking to people. I'm really good at listening and having conversations with people and really understanding and dissecting them and just working with them, right? Like I'm very good at that kind of stuff. I'm good at making people feel good, right? That's a gift for me too. I love making people smile and stuff like that. So yeah, like that's just what it is, you know. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Dang, my phone dying. All right, yeah. So I'm really good at that, right? Like that's my gift, and that's something that I had to access and I had to tap into. And how did I do that? Every single day, reminding myself what it is. I had to literally, I even ask people that I know really love me, like, yo, what I'm good at? What
Yeah.
what have you seen me be good at, throughout my life? Or like I'll ask old sixth grade teachers, like, do you ever see anything in me? And people, when I start realizing people were saying the same exact things, I'm like, oh shoot, that's something that I'm really, really good at then.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and there's I give you so many strategies on how to do it, man. I'm so tired of people living this lost, purposeless life, if
Yeah.
that's a word. Like, I'm not good at English, by the way, but like, I'm really like, yo, people are living a life right now where they just don't know who they are, and I want to help them figure that out, like for real. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and you said something that's key. Mindset. Mindset is definitely key, and the bad thing about it is it's so cliche. You feel me? So people hear, oh, whatever you think about, that's what you're gonna become. Manifestation, law of attraction, all of that is just like, man, I don't want to hear. You know what I mean? A lot of people just like, because I was like that before. I hear law of attraction, all that. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear that, bro. Point me to the money, man. But that's where
you
the
know,
money is. Like,
that's where the
really,
money is. The
like,
money's in your mind, bro.
for real,
Yeah,
mastering yourself.
yeah.
Once you master yourself, you master. Come on.
That's it, bro. Like, and clarity is mastery too, bro. You gotta be real clear. You gotta be real clear about what you want in life, what you need to do. Like, it's super important. We talked about starting our day off. Like, if your mind's not right, how could you start off your day? You
Yeah,
know, there's something in my book where I'm speaking about what are you consuming every day. What are you consuming? What are you drinking? What does your appetite look like? Right? Like, are you waking up every day drinking doubt and insecurity and fears and all of these different things? Or are you like waking up like being about it, encouraging yourself, giving yourself affirmation? Like, what are you consuming every day? Because the thing that you consume is what you become.
facts.
Like, that's not cliche. That is true. Like, think about the people who wake up every day and speak negative things over their life. That's really what happens.
Yeah,
And then think about the successful people who are always talking positive. They're successful. Like, it's a reason why every successful person speaks about mindset and speaks about how important it is. Obviously, something's working. Like,
yeah,
we need to be able to figure that thing out. Um, you know how many times, even in my music, like, I realized when I used to make those depressing underdog songs, I used to think it was helping me, but it wasn't really helping me. Because every time I'm listening to it, guess what I'm doing? I'm repeating in my head that I'm an underdog. I ain't gonna make it. I ain't
yeah,
gonna do this. I ain't gonna do. Every day I'm listening to that in my car. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm pouring into myself every day. But then I'm out here like, yeah, nah, this music is therapeutic for me, man. It's helping me get out.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it wasn't. It was helping me be caged in. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, there's times where I listen to rap music, certain rap songs, I feel like killing somebody afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
this stuff is powerful, bro. Like, this stuff is super, super powerful. Your mind is powerful. Like, what you think is who you are. Like, all that stuff is really true, bro. And when we get to a place where we start really letting out, like, controlling our thoughts, we'll be good. We'll be real good. And I'm teaching my kids that now, bro. I got two sons and a daughter. Like, I'm teaching them right now as we speak. It starts here. It starts in your head. Remember that. If something happens to daddy and you going through something in life, remember that it starts here. And if you let that dwell inside of here, you're gonna become it. you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good that you're teaching them that young. And there was something in your book that I wanted to point out. You said in today's world, people try so hard to fit in that they miss out. That I don't know why, but that hit me. I'm like, dang. Well, let's talk about
Ugh.
that for a second, man.
Oh my gosh, that was me, bro. It was me. It was me comparing myself, bro. Like
Yeah,
just comparing myself to everybody else, trying to be like everybody else, trying to win like everybody else. It's like you can't tap into your gift if you trying to tap into somebody else's. It's not gonna happen,
yeah,
right? It's like even me wanting to be an artist and want to be I want it to be like Drake,
yeah,
bro. Like I want it to be like them, like I wanted to have that presence and all these different things. And it was like, yo, even in like people that like I felt was so much cooler than me, I'll find myself trying to fit into that crowd. And now I'm just becoming them
yeah,
instead of becoming me. And it don't make it at that point. It's like, yo, it don't even make sense. People are literally, and think about social media, think about all of these things that we see, that we consume every single day. Like you got women trying to like get surgery and doing this and doing that, like because they're like, dang, I need that big boob. I need these big boobs. I need this butt. I need this. You know what I mean? You got people like, I don't want to be natural. Well, we got a new growth of natural women coming out, but like,
yeah,
you got so much stuff. Even me, like, dang, I need the nice whip. I need the chain. I
yeah,
need this. I need that in order for me to do it. Me trying to run that race to be the next Drake, I'm gonna miss out on IQ, on who he was
yeah,
supposed to be the whole time. And a lot of times people do that for years and they lose themselves. So now it's super hard for them to find themselves again
yeah.
because they wasted their whole life trying to be like somebody else. It happens all the time.
The
And and
majority of
and
the
that's what
people.
I meant by that.
Yeah,
Yo, and that's what I meant by that. And I mean that, Jane. Like we can't be trying to, and that's another thing. Being different is dope. Like
for real, bro.
being unique is cool. I
Yeah,
don't know why people want to follow other people when uniqueness is super dope. Like the fact that there's like I believe that we were all created as individuals, right? And we all have a place on this earth in some type of capacity. We are not supposed to be like everybody else. If we were supposed to be like everybody else, we will be created all together one time. But everybody was created as individuals because there's an individual purpose attached to every single person in this world.
yeah,
And once we start understanding that, like yesterday, I taught a men's class, and the topic was run your race. The other day I started doing it a little bit. I started comparing myself to like people that's like higher than me and making 600 mil and all this stuff. I'm like, dang, I'm not even there. And something that was placed in my heart and my spirit was run your race, Q.
yeah,
Run your race, bro. A lot of times we look back, we trying to figure out who's doing this, who's doing that. We trying to follow other people. Just run your race.
yeah,
And you know what your deadline is, you know what your finish line is, run that joint. And just focus on that. And once you get to that finish line, you're gonna look around and see that there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna want to be like you. How about that?
yeah,
Right? So yeah, man, I really believe that strong heartedly.
yeah, man. IQ, man. Thank you for coming on the show. I really
Thank you, bro.
appreciate it, man. You're a special person. You gifted, man. You going places. Go ahead, go ahead. Tell the people where they can, get your book, your Instagram, find your music, all that.
Yo, first of all, uh I just want to appreciate you for even thinking about me to put me on this platform. Like, it means a lot to me because sometimes, even as a leader, like we all want to know that people are supporting and watching and
Yeah,
looking into, who we are. Like that makes me feel good as a person, just honestly. So I truly appreciate everything that you're doing. And my prayer is that more life, more success comes your way,
thank
that
you.
everything that you do everything gonna pay off. Every single thing that you do will pay off. And I already believe it. I looked at your podcast. I looked at a few people that you got coming on, and you're doing great things. So you gifted just like me. We both gifted. And I appreciate that. So, but you can follow me on Instagram at Iquemusiq. IQUEMUSIQ. And you can go purchase my book, Too Gifted, at 2-gifted.com. And you can also purchase my apparel. Right now, we actually got the Juneteenth sale that we're dropping limited edition on Juneteenth. So you can definitely go cop that. And my apparel line is 2Gifted NYC, number 2, giftednyc.com. So you go to any one of those pages, make sure you get a book, make sure you get some apparel. And I'm dropping a music video with my sons. The name of the song is called Power. I'm dropping that on Father's Day. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and we out here, just keep winning, keep grinding, keep growing, and just keep being you. And don't let nobody stop you, including yourself, because we could be our worst enemy. So thank you, appreciate you, and much blessings to you, bro.
Facts. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this with somebody you know. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all day, and peace.
Deuces.